It's wintertime, and we're rediscovering the West Coast's most abundant resource. Salt is an ancient ingredient used throughout civilizations to season and to preserve food. It's essential to our survival. Salt helps our brain and nerves transmit information. It helps our muscles contract, and is critical for the function of our body's cells. Luckily for us, sea salt occurs naturally in vast quantities. Today, we're harvesting sea salt from the Strait of Georgia with the guidance of one of BC's only salt experts, Andrew Shepherd. Hey.
Hi, welcome to Cherry Point.
Thanks, you must be Andrew.
I am Andrew, and this is my beach. So
Awesome. So what are we doing today?
Well, I think we're gonna harvest a little sea salt, and we're gonna do it sort of rough and old school, we like to call it.
Awesome.
So we're gonna build a fire, and we're gonna make some sea salt right here on the beach. So I brought you some hip waders.
Oh my goodness. Awesome.
It's a little chilly this time of year, so we'll use those.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Why this location?
Well, Cherry Point has great water, and it has a really high tidal zone. We like all those natural minerals in our salt, and of course it's the big tides when they move in and out that kick up the silts full of minerals like magnesium and iron that we all like. I know this place is clean because we test our salt, and our salt's very clean. You don't want to harvest in a marina, you don't want to harvest near Vancouver or Victoria, so we're up here in the country. You can see there's not even any boats around. That's a good sign. We never get the water at the end of a high tide because it's stagnant. We always use fresh salt water. So the high tidal zone's the main thing, and it's 60 seconds from my house. Great, let's put this on. We've got a nice base there.
Perfect.
And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna filter the water into the pot because it's really easy to clean water and it's really hard to clean salt. It's the needle in a haystack, but worse.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do, and we've got that fits right on the top of our pot.
All right.
So you wanna throw that on, and we'll start pouring water in.
All right.
So all we have in here is, these are actually for shortening fryers.
But they're basically large coffee filters, so somebody could do a smaller version at home really easy.
Okay.
And it just fits right on there. Super easy.
This is how we turn seawater into salt.
This is it. This is the most important step, if you ask me. Not only do we start with really nice, clean ocean water, but then we take it a step farther and we clean it. Right through the filter. We've collected water. We've got a heat source. We've made a beech wood, which is totally sustainable because it's already down.
Yeah, I like it.
And then we're gonna filter the water and make it clean, and then we're simply gonna boil the water to concentrate it. So salt will start to split out of water at about 28 to 32 sort of %. And what we're gonna look to do is boil the water down, and then we'll add more water, and we'll boil it down and add more until we get the concentration up, and we'll actually see the salt start to split out. And then we're gonna boil the rest of it off, and we're gonna harvest some salt.
About how long is that going to take?
It's gonna take all day. You really need to feed the fires. Frankly, with a fire like this, probably more like every 45 minutes.
This is a really good small-scale way to do it.
This would be what I would call hobby harvesting.
Perfect.
So we've got, really a simple setup that anybody can afford on some scale and put together yourself for a family experience or wanting to go back to the old days of being a Roman and having some fun and doing it over a fire. Absolutely a great thing to do as a hobby.
Great. So tell me about Fleur de Sel.
It's the first salt separation. It's about 5 to 6% of a total harvest or a total separation. And what happens is they slip up to the top of the water and they open up like flowers. When we harvest our Fleur de Sel, we do it as the flowers are opening up on top of the water, and you just simply skim them out, and you get a beautiful smooth flavor, a little bit of a crunchy texture. And they're, of course, really rich in minerals.
Right.
It's really a labor of love.
So this looks cool. What's this?
This is a calcium-heavy mineral deposit from one of our harvesting kettles. And it's just sort of interesting to take a look at it and realize really how much there is in our salt water besides just salt and water.
Right.
It is proof that there is minerals in our water.
Absolutely. And people have this sort of fear of salt, right? That with its minerals and tax, it's actually a healthier
natural salt, you need it to live. We would actually die without it. And then we are getting things magnesium, iron, a little bit of calcium, which our bodies really need. And so to be able to get it from a natural source, like a little bit of salt, is a beautiful thing. I think it's time we go check our pot and see if we've got some salt to harvest.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. So you can see all the water is pretty much evaporated off. You're starting to get little air holes popping up through the salt, which is a good indicator that it's time to remove it.
Okay.
You obviously don't want to burn your salt, so a little bit of water left in there is probably best.
And then it's really simple from here. We're just gonna go in, we're just gonna scoop out our nice wet salt.
You're just gonna allow it to sort of naturally dry.
Okay.
Did you want to get in there and scoop some out?
Absolutely. It's like mashed potatoes.
Just like mashed potatoes.
And look at that, you're officially a
Great.
West Coast salt harvester as of right now.
Love that you can see the, the color. It's really gray. It's nice. You can see the mineral content. It's really in its raw state.
The gray color will come through even more as it's draining off in the water. But it's just
Great.
as simple as that. And look at all this beautiful salt we made just today on the beach. Wow, we're good.
Wow.
Who would have thought? Well, let's have a taste. It's pretty fresh. It's still wet, but I think it's going to be really good.
Wow. Salty.
I'm going to cry. That is good. And actually, you can almost, at the first, you can almost taste a little sweetness in the front.
Yeah,
And
I
then the
can
salt comes.
detect that actually, yeah. And I guess obviously that's the mineral content. That's the holisticness of it. It's not like that, burn your inside of your mouth off kind of salt. It's got a lovely, like you said, sweet, smooth kind of.
Well, actually, what you just described with the burning of the mouth there is an indicator of highly refined salt. So when you taste salt, if the front of your tongue starts to burn, you know you're eating really junky salt. And if when you eat salt, like I am right now, the back of your mouth starts to water and it makes you salivate, then you know that you're actually really eating like pure, clean salt.
Well, what a fascinating experience. I learned a lot and really appreciate you giving us your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming and spending a day in my office. Let's go find a salmon and we'll salt it.
All right.